Hi, welcome to In the Kitchen with Chris. Today we're going to be making some milk chocolate pecan caramel turtles. Ooh, I always make these for my family. Thanksgiving time, these are the best thing because these are so fast and easy. What you want to do is use a microwave because it's the fastest way to do this. You can do this on a double boiler if you wish, but it takes a little more time. You're going to take your caramel and you're going to put it in a microwave-proof bowl. Glass, doesn't really matter. Anything at all that you can put in the microwave. What I have here is a big 5-pound log of caramel that in the industry is how we buy it. But if you have to go to the store, then just get yourself a bag of little caramels, unwrap them all, and just put them in the bowl. That's all you have to do. If you want to add a little bit of cream, you can. But don't add too much, or else at the very end, your turtle will be too soft, and you want it to have a nice little resistance to it when you eat it. So you take the caramel and put it in the microwave. This should probably take about a minute to melt, and you want to fully melt it. While this is melting, what I have done is taken some pecans, and I've put them right on a piece of wax paper on a pan, and I've made them a very thin layer. If the layer of pecans is too thick, what you'll find is all you'll taste is pecans. If the pecans is too thin, all you're going to taste is caramel. So you want to have just the right balance of caramel and pecans. So what I recommend on your caramel is that you maybe try and stir it once or twice, and you want to check the consistency. It is possible that you could burn your caramel, so you don't want to just leave it in there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That would be a problem. So we're going to check our caramel here and see how it's doing. As you can see, our caramel is now melted, and it's ready to go. So we take our scoop, and we take it and put it right on top of the pecans. What's going to happen is because the caramel is semi-liquid, it's going to settle down into a nice flat candy. It's not going to stay tall like you see. It's going to keep settling and settling and settling. And so it'll look like a traditional turtle. So we take this and make as many as you want. And again, you're only limited by how much time you have because as you can see, this is a very, very fast candy. All right, I think that's enough. And then we take this and we place it in the refrigerator until the turtles are hard because we're going to be dipping these in milk chocolate. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you how to melt milk chocolate in the microwave so that it stays in temper, is what we call it in the industry. Okay. I've taken a pan of pre-prepared turtles, and so as you saw me, all I did was take the caramel, drop it on the pecan. And now we have to melt chocolate in the microwave. Take your milk chocolate, put it in the bowl. Here's the important part about melting chocolate in the microwave. You need to only do this for approximately 10 to 15 seconds at a time. Milk chocolate is especially easy to burn, so you must only do it for 10 to 15 seconds at a time. While that is going, I'm going to take our hardened caramel and take them right off the pecans. And as you can see, the caramel has stuck to an amount of pecans on the bottom, and then we're going to dip these in milk chocolate. Now, what you can do also, if you're really adventurous, is you can buy the half-size pecans, and you can actually make a little turtle. So you've got one as the head, and then the 2 little feet, and then 2 little feet here and little tail, and then they actually look like turtles, and that's where they got their start from, in case you didn't know it. So we'll check our chocolate in the microwave, and again, you can shake it like this, and as you can see, you can still see the chunks moving around a little bit, so it's not ready yet. So we can put it in for about another 10-15 seconds, and then we're going to check it again. The most important part about melting chocolate in the microwave is that you only melt it halfway. Do not melt it all the way. We need this milk chocolate to stay what we call in temper. If you only melt it halfway and you keep stirring until it melts the rest, your chocolate will have a very nice snap and a shiny sheen when you go to work with it. All right, here we go. Now, as you can see, the chocolate has got a real nice stirring quality. See how it's starting to melt? All the chips are going to melt all the way in. So you stand here and stir it, and this should probably take 30 seconds to a minute. Okay? And you can see how the chips are melting in slowly. That's exactly what you want. It's perfect, just like this. Exactly what you want. Okay, this will be ready in just a few seconds. Stir it in. And also another nice thing about working with chocolate that most people don't know is that if you actually melt like 5 pounds at a time, it's easier to work with because it's going to hold the temperature longer. If you have just a small 12-ounce bag like this, you actually have to work pretty quick. So you've got an excuse to go out and buy 5 pounds of chocolate. Take one of your turtles and drop it on. Okay, just take a regular old fork and you just move the chocolate right on the top. Okay, and here's what I like to do. Pick it up on the edge of the bowl, knock it for a few times, and you can see the chocolate dripping off because you don't want it really thick. Wipe it off on the edge of the bowl, and then set it down right on your wax paper. Okay? Now what you can do also, if you'd like, is while the chocolate is hardening, you could take your fork, and if you want to make a little pattern, you can make a little pattern like that on the top, and then people will say, hey, how did you do that? That's very impressive. So now what you do is you take these and you put them in the refrigerator, and when they cool, they are ready to eat. Well, that's all you have to do to make caramel turtles. I'm going to go ahead and finish all these now. So thanks for coming in. See you next time.
If you'd like the recipe for this or other delightful dishes from Chef Chris, visit the Hospitality Administration website at www.cod.edu/hospitalityadministration and start cooking.